Hi there, I'm TK, also known as Technical Knowledge. I stream almost entirely on Twitch, viewer battles, ranked battles, and other stuff as well. There's a link in the description to my channel, so come check me out. And now, on to the video. How's it going, my viewers? How's it going? What is going on? Welcome to the video, and I'm going to be talking about today, why aren't the Tapus, well, at least 3 of the Tapus, as popular as Tapu Fini is right now. If you're looking at Peakalytics right now, you'll notice that during Series Showdown, or Series 7, etc., Showdown, etc., VGC, Fini is just the best. She is just the most popular. I think if we go to just series zeros plus, etc., like basically everyone, etc., you can see Fini is just at the top of the leaderboard. Why is Fini at the top of the leaderboard, but not any of the other Tapus? Like, if we were to scroll down, you'll see here that if you just take everybody into account, Tapu Koko only ranks in at number 14, but if we were to go to, like, say, 1760 plus, which is basically the top of the top, the best of the best, the few, the proud, the club I'm not part of, Tapu Koko only ranks in at number 29, and he's the second most popular. He's the second most popular of all the Tapus, with the next one being at the top, Tapu Lele, who only gets in at 32, and if we keep scrolling all the way down, below Hatterene, below Primarina, below Colossal, below regular Landorus, below Talonflame. Okay, where is he? Where is he? Come on, where is he? Ah, here he is. Tapu Bulu, the 4th Tapu. He's just barely clinging on to a 1% usage. He's just barely clinging to the number 87 slot. Why is that? Why is it everyone is using Tapu Fini out of all the 4 Tapus? Like, before Crown Tundra came out, everyone was saying the Tapus were going to define the meta. It's going to be a battle of the terrains. It's going to be like battle of the weathers, etc. It's going to be Fini, Bulu, Koko, and Lele defining the meta. And yet, there's only one Tapu that's, in, to quote some people, there's only one viable Tapu. And I think the answer is because Tapu Fini is just a Pokemon that just fits the meta. So, what am I talking about? What am I talking about when it comes to VGC, etc., when it comes to doubles, etc.? Why am I talking about Fini and why it fits the current meta? Now, what I mean by that is because when VGC happens, it happens every generation, every game, etc. There's like 3 separate phases for VGC. So there's the first phase when, game is fresh, everyone is following the, using what they see as the best Pokemon in that generation that's available, for example. They follow certain strategies, they follow certain gimmicks, etc. They combine Pokemon to use certain strategies. So, like, in Series 5, for example, when we got Incineroar and all the new Pokemon in, before Isle of Armor, etc., everyone was basically using Pokemon like Tyranitar, they were using Excadrill, they were bringing out Rillaboom, they were bringing out Incineroar and Togekiss and Dragapult and Cinderace, they were using Trick Room with Torkoal. It was basically everyone using certain strategies, and it wasn't really about individual Pokemon making individual plays, etc. It was more about a team synergy, etc., and trying to counter what the opponent may bring, what the opponent might bring, and what the opponent does bring. And just generally having a solid strategy which encompasses as much of the meta as possible. Then we moved on to generation, let's see, if it was generations or series 6, for example, which basically said everyone is getting a ban, etc. for the top Pokemon. And then everyone started shifting around. Everything started shifting. You had everyone, if you look at the tops, etc., people were running your Shifu, Primarina, etc., and basically everyone was just left with only the Pokemon that didn't have a chance to shine, because why run X Pokemon when Y Pokemon is better, for example, just to say that. Why run Incineroar when you, or why run Arcanine when you could run Incineroar, who just does Arcanine's job but better? Well, now people were running Arcanine. People were forced to think outside the box, and it really showed in the meta, etc. It really showed, the creativity. It showed the potentials of certain Pokemon, etc., etc. But that was Series 6. Now we're in Series 7. And everyone was talking about the legends, how it's just going to be, it's going to be like Genies and Kangaskhan and Heatran and Cresselia all over the place, only we're going to have Incineroar as well. And while that's sort of true for some people, it's the one thing that people were talking about were the Tapus. And people were saying the Tapus were going to define the meta. But there's only one Tapu actually really defining the meta, and that is Fini. The next Tapu we see isn't even in the top 10. Tapu Koko's only at number 14. So he's only the most popular, he's only the 14th most popular Pokemon, and he's only the second Tapu. What about the other Tapus? Well, as you can see, I'm trying to find them. There's Tapu Lele, and Tapu Lele only has a 5% usage, and she's only number 33. Then we move on, then we try to keep moving on down. Let me see if I can find Tapu Bulu. We might have some difficulty finding Tapu Bulu. Still no sign of the Bulu. Still no sign. Maybe someone will chat will tell me. Maybe I should stop recording just so I can try and find Bulu. Yeah, he's not there. I haven't found him yet. I'm looking. I'm scrolling down. I keep scrolling, but I don't see him. I don't see him, kids. I don't see him. I do not see the Bulu. Where is the Bulu? Here, you know what? We're just gonna scroll all the way back up here, and then we're just gonna type in his name, Bulu. Tapu Bulu. Oh my goodness, he doesn't even have a 1% usage. He's at 99 or 92 monthly ranking. Why is that? Why are the other Tapus just not seeing as much popularity? Why is Lele and Bulu not getting popular picking compared to Fini and Koko? Why is Fini the most popular? Why is Koko only the second most popular, but he's not even in the top 10? Well, the answer to that can be found in their typing and their abilities and what they do. So, first of all, Tapu Koko, you can see here based on his stats, he's a very fast Pokemon. He doesn't like to take hits. He deals damage. He's a sweeper. The meta, every time it goes through the shifts, so we're in the second phase, when we have the non-restricted Legends format, before we get the restricted Legends format, the non-restricted Legends format, when it comes to VGC, tends to favor teams that have reliability and durability. So teams that can take a lot of hits and then dish them in back. So you can't run, gimmick strategies such as, for example, Excadrill Tyranitar. You can't just do that anymore. You can't just throw Excadrill Tyranitar against everything and expect it to win. You can't do, for example, you can't just put Indeedee on the field next to Alakazam and strap a choice specs onto him and spam expanding force all day. It doesn't work anymore. Getting back to the topic at hand, Tapu Koko's ability is Electric Surge, not counting the telepathy ability. Everyone's using the Tapus for their, standard ability. Electric Surge creates the electric terrain. You gain electric power, you boost your electric attacks, and your Pokemon not only cannot fall asleep, but if the electric terrain goes up, any Pokemon that are asleep will wake up. At least I'm 95% sure that's how it is. Then you go over to, go over the Tapu Lele. Tapu Lele's stats here make her a very fine, special attacking sweeper. Go with that Psychic Surge, set up the Psychic Terrain, boost your Psychic attacks, boost your or protect yourself from priority moves. That's a pretty popular terrain. But again, she's not the fastest. Tapu Lele is or not the slowest. She's actually among the faster ones. Second fastest of the Tapus, second strongest in terms of the special attack category. Actually, no, she's actually the strongest in the special attack category. But she lacks physical defense. She doesn't have the full. She doesn't have. They all have the same HP, but she doesn't have the physical bulk to survive many hits. And one of the most popular things to counter a fairy type, such as Tapu Lele, is a giant steel spike to the face. And Metagross is at the top. If we were to go back here, Metagross is at the top. He's in the number 2 overall. We go to the top, he's number 4 overall. He's just too dangerous to Lele. So going back here, we go over to the next one, Tapu Bulu. Tapu Bulu he's probably among the slowest with the 75 speed stat. He's got very good bulk. He's got 115 in defense, 130 in the attack, so he's a very strong physical attacker. 95 in the special defense, nothing to scoff at. But his Grassy Surge ability is shared by Rillaboom. And unlike Rillaboom, Tapu Bulu does not get the Grassy Glide. In fact, none of the Tapus get those terrain moves. They don't get. Tapu Koko doesn't get Rising Voltage. Lele doesn't get Expanding Force. Bulu doesn't get Grassy Glide. And Fini doesn't get Misty Explosion. Though, why anyone would want to run Misty Explosion on Fini is. You got me. In any case, he also has, sadly, the weakest when it comes to the Grassy Surge and what it does. Grassy Surge sets up Grassy Terrain. Grassy Terrain reduces the attacking power of moves like Earthquake and Bulldoze. It increases the power of Grass-type moves, and it restores health at the end of the turn to all grounded Pokemon. All in all, it's not the best, but it's not the worst of the abilities. Then you have, sadly, his typing. Grass types always have the short end of the stick. They get 5 weaknesses: Fire, Ice, Poison, Flying, Bug. And then you add Bulu's Fairy typing, and suddenly he trades off the Bug weakness for a Steel weakness and a ×4 weakness to Poison types. He's not having a good day, especially when you look at the top 5 Pokemon. Ice, Steel, Fire, Flying, and if you count Tapu Fini, Ice as well. So already Bulu's not having a good day. He just doesn't have a good day in this meta. He's just not going to survive. He's just not ideal. He has the bulk, but he has too many weaknesses, and he doesn't even have something like Tyranitar's ability, which, can mitigate some of that with the special defense boost coming from the weather. Now you move on to Tapu Fini, who is the most popular of the 4 Tapus. You have the Misty Surge. Misty Surge comes with the benefit of your Pokemon not being able to suffer any status afflictions, even passive afflictions. So you can't be burned and you can't be confused, for example. Then you have the combination of, actually one other thing. Misty Surge also reduces Dragon-type moves by 50%. Reduces their power, I mean. Then you have Fini's defensive bulks. 130, 115. Similar to Bulu, but Fini is just a much better defensive Pokemon when you include the HP. And, of course, the special attack is 95, nothing to scoff at. It's got an 85 speed, which means it outspeeds a lot of things, but at the same time, it can also technically operate in the Trick Room when all the Pokemon are legendaries, etc. It also has fewer weaknesses compared to Bulu. Sure, it has the weakness to poison, to grass, and electricity, but you don't see these as you don't see electric and you don't see grass as common nowadays. And obviously, who runs poison types in VGC? I haven't seen many poison types in VGC in a long time. Basically, Tapu Fini has fewer weaknesses to deal with when it comes to the top Pokemon. You've only got, say, Regieleki, Now, I'm looking at the top here. I'm looking at the best of the best. But if we go here, yeah, it's the same. You've only got one Pokemon that you're really worried about, and that's Regieleki. Maybe you're afraid of the Kartana, maybe a little bit afraid of Rillaboom, but you're not seeing them as often as the other Pokemon. Second of all, Tapu Fini's bulk just makes it easier to go for things like Calm Mind to mitigate the fact that you're not investing everything into your special attack. You're investing everything into your bulk so that you can survive more health. People also give Fini a berry to recover some health, or they strap a choice specs onto her, etc. She's just much more popular because she can do a lot more, in the current meta. She's bulkier, she doesn't have as many resistant or doesn't have as many weaknesses, and she counters some of the more popular things on the field right now. Everyone's running Incineroar. Well, guess what Fini counters? Incineroar. Sure, Fini can get snarled, etc., and parting shotted, but that's what the Calm Minds are for. Calm Minds restore her special attack. You can't keep the Fini down forever. So that's pretty much the end of the video, guys. I hope you enjoyed this. Hope you all learned a thing or two about why the Tapus aren't being run, why at least only one of them at least is being run, because it just suits the meta right now. People prefer bulkier Pokemon that can take hits and then return them in kind. I'll see you all next time. I really hate doing videos without a script. Bye bye.